Our purpose is to build a holistic voice that creates a community of like-minded, healthy people for a healthier planet. Our goal is to unify the community, nourishing the growth in mind, body, spirit, awareness, and wellness. We want to engage our community and visitors so they have access to powerful momentum of the holistic presence in our community. We do this by creating awareness through interviews, providing education and awareness of cutting-edge modalities. We also provide access for consumers to quality natural health and wellness professional and practitioners and like-minded business that support this community. Thank you for listening with us on Healthy Planet One. Stay with us for the next interview with our next holistic guest.
Welcome, everyone. This month's focus is on gratitude. This topic is a multidimensional, and we have invited 4 fantastic guests to share their insights and contribution from their various fields. We invite you to listen with us each week to these in-depth conversations that will make a difference in your life. So our guest this week is UTE VELA, who is the CEO of IonCareusa, and we're so happy to have you with us, Ute.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Nice to have you. Ute was born and raised in Germany and married a Spaniard, Enrique, and they together moved to Florida in 1999 and established a center called Alternative Therapies, which offered lots of different therapies to improve well-being and quality of life. After many years, they've now they're launching their company called IonCareusa, exclusively representing a German biotechnological innovation awarded with the prize of environmental technology and an amazing step forward in the development of solar energy and also for protection and clearing up a bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk about that today, right, Ute?
Yes, we are.
Great. So tell us a little bit more about you and, you're coming from Germany. We're in Spain. You came here. Why did you guys come to Florida anyway?
Coming to Florida was on the invitation of a friend, actually, just to come visit. They were living here at the time, and they thought they were living in paradise. I just couldn't resist. I had to come.
So paradise is what made sense.
Paradise it is.
So now we want to really focus on what you're currently doing, because you've been involved with the alternative therapies for so many years. I know your husband, Enrique, was a chiropractor, and he's come to Florida, became a naturopath. You have been steeped in a lot of different supplements and what have you. What in the world happened in Germany that had you bring this product forward? Tell us a little bit about that.
So yes, you're right. We've been involved in natural well-being and improving people's quality of life now for many years before I went on a vacation trip home to see family and friends. And at that point, I was introduced to a technology that actually at that time was introduced to me like protecting you from all kinds of wireless devices, radiation that we receive through our wireless devices, our phones, our laptops, computers, other people's laptops, computers, and cell phones. And it was talking about negative ions and ionization, and really coming out of the field of natural health and well-being. I was very familiar with what negative ions can do to your health. And I think if the majority maybe already know, but for those who don't, being exposed to negative ions is a health improving how can I say, a technique, maybe you want to call it. It's an established scientific fact, let's put it that way, that when we're close and exposed to more negative ions than positive, then we are actually involved or being exposed to an atmosphere, an environment of good vibes, let's put it that way.
It's like being next to a huge waterfall, right?
Correct.
Because when we're next to a huge waterfall, we really can feel the wonderful energy that comes from that, right?
Waterfalls, being by the sea.
Yeah.
We take a walk at the beach. And there are many devices now that do improve or do present in many different shapes and sizes and forms negative ions that we can be exposed to. Some are more effective than others. Now, this technology is the next step to solar energy, exposure to negative ions. This actually is the 21st century of being able to be in a negative ion environment.
So I understand, Ute, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when we're exposed to so many toxins, this causes free radicals in our body. Mm-hmm. These free radicals are what actually damage the DNA. But if we're surrounded with a lot of negative ions, that offsets that action. Is that correct?
Now, they even go a step further now. Yes, we go a step further because this technology, there were actually the inventor, the scientist behind it, who was awarded with this prize, as you mentioned, in Germany with the prize of innovation in regards to the environment. What he was able to do and also received not only a prize, but the doctorate, honorary doctorate for it, was that he could harness the sun's energy, the photons. He could compress them, collect them, and put them, imprint them, and through a very special laser method, which he developed. That's why he got the prize. That laser method, harnessing the sun's energy on a matter, which in this case is silicon, which is a natural occurring mineral. So he stores this compressed sun energy on that medium, on the silicon, and that medium in turn emits
all these negative ions, so we're actually protected. Yeah.
But get this, they're actually so highly chiming and vibrating that it affects us on our cellular basis, meaning our cells receive the perfect chime and vibration that our cells should vibrate on, which they're not because
we're so affected by toxins and what have you.
That they're not functioning right anymore.
And I think that the timing is so critical. I know that there's been a lot of research about the radiation that carries this information and how it affects us. Mm-hmm. And Ute, I know that I've seen a lot of different things online that people can buy. Mm-hmm. But what I have found is that this is way more powerful than what we're actually seeing on a regular basis.
Different
online.
World, completely different world. It's such a step above that at this moment, with this technology, nobody can really compete with. There are different technologies out there working on a different level, but at this point, what we're doing is we are actually giving ourselves a strong immune system. This is really what it comes down to. Oh. This technology is permanent. We do not need to recharge, let's say, in the chip, for example, that we use to protect ourselves against wireless devices.
And we can put that chip on our phones, on our computers, on anything that's emitting.
Your body. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So it's permanent. This energy does not go away. It doesn't mean that when you purchase a chip that you have to purchase another one in 6 months because the energy has gone out of it. It has been used, so to speak. This is permanent sun energy. It does not go away. Mm-hmm. It does not need to be plugged into the electrical circuit, for example. It doesn't need to be recharged. Many of these things, I know we've been familiar with this. Chips, I myself, years ago, have gotten into chips. They need to be thrown away, replaced, or charged after a certain amount of hours, sometimes only 48 hours, and you need to get another chip.
But this doesn't.
Permanent, no recharging, no exchanging unless you use it. It's with you, it's good for practically forever.
Wow, that's significant because we know we're in a world where we're facing even more radiation than we
ever coming.
had.
We need to protect ourselves. Mm-hmm. We cannot do anything in regards to what we are up to. The wireless devices, radiation will be stronger. the waves will be shorter and shorter. So we need
and
more stations where they will be collected and emit. So we
and you yourself were affected by this radiation at one point in time with the smart meter situation, I believe, right? And you found that sleeping was difficult, and you were getting headaches, because I find that's often the case. Yeah. In fact, I think a point was made not too long ago that the situation with what was it? It was, we're finding that most people around the world are getting less and less sleep because of this radiation. So do you find this chips helps with the sleeping situation?
Yes, the scientific studies behind this is exactly that. The scientific studies behind this is that our cells are not functioning on that ideal vibration anymore. They do function on a certain vibration. The numbers are out in the studies. We know what they are. And what we are getting is an interruption from the wireless devices. So our cells are under constant compression, under constant bombardment, and they don't function as they should. Once we get our cells, if they give them the tool, this is what we do. It's nothing than give them a tool. We give ourselves a tool to be healthy, to have a strong immune system, and to defend against what's coming in from the outside.
You know, our theme for this month is gratitude, and I think that was one of the reasons we wanted you on the show, because what you're bringing, and this happened when you happened to be visiting Germany. You just came onto this product. You want to
out of the blue,
and it just showed up
out of the blue. But luckily, it came to me because I exactly knew what they were talking about.
And you have the exclusive, I understand, ability to bring it into the United States as well as South America, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's given to us exclusively. So right now, this is in our hands, and to spread the word. And I think what this represents is such a amazing, magical, almost a miracle kind of a tool that has come upon us, that it is available to anybody. It's not something that will cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, in the amount this is it. If you're just talking about people, can I afford this? You know, it sounds too good to be true. If I can afford this, it is very affordable for anyone. So it's not just for a few.
Well, let's ask Kimberly. Kimberly, I know that you've been affected by the technology of today's world as well, right?
Yeah. So there are, like, including myself, there are people that are more sensitive. And one of the most important things that we're talking about today is that the cellular waves have information, just like you talked about the information, the healing information of the sun being stored on this medium. It's the information that confuses our cells, because the cells also have they're talking and they have information. So it distorts their ability to communicate properly with themselves, which then will distort different body functions and different body processes. Because years ago, about 6 years ago, I met someone from Germany as well, that they were working on some pulse electromagnetic frequencies that help to restore targeted cellular information. So we're dealing with this all the time. And for people listening, this is the most important thing. It's the information is distorting how our cells actually communicate. So, and I do. So I feel comfortable that I have one. I wear it on me during the day, and I have one on my modem. I do turn my modem up. I do many things. And of course, you know, I eat very well to help with that as well. But we really have to be mindful of this, because we do not feel our cells, but our cells are at a constant rate. And Dr. Charles talked about it last month when we had him on. Our cells they're going through this process, and it may take 8 to 10 years for them to break down and go into disease state, but they're not stagnant. And
well, it's interesting because you're talking about eating well. Yeah. And I think, you know, Uta, there's something in this technology that you brought that relates to agriculture. Can you say more about that?
Absolutely. We're talking not just about the human being, the human body, our cells in our body. We're talking about cellular beings, which includes our plants. It includes the water, our animals, our pets. They are all affected by this. Our soil is affected. Our plants are affected by this. As we get stronger and stronger radiation